Hey everyone, and welcome back to our home. Episode 4. Last time, we left Jieming and Xiaoling on a high note, finally stepping into their brand new condo. The boxes were unpacked, the furniture was arranged just so, and for a fleeting moment, everything was perfect. You could almost feel the quiet joy as they toasted with a simple cup of tea, their faces lit up by the warm glow of their new lamp and the promise of a future they would build together. They were finally free, finally on their own, or so they thought. That blissful bubble, as we all know, is often just waiting to be popped. The very next morning, the doorbell rang. Not a delivery, not a neighbor, but Jieming's mother, standing on their doorstep with a scrutinizing gaze and a bag full of essentials they didn't need. She had come for an inspection. The tour began. The sofa. Too modern, it'll be out of style in a year. The new smart fridge. Too complicated. All these buttons will just break. The curtains Xiaoling had spent weeks picking out. This color makes the room look so dark. You should have gotten something brighter. Every compliment was backhanded. Every suggestion felt like a command. Jieming tried to play mediator, laughing it off and changing the subject. But you could see the tension cooling in Xiaoling's shoulders. Her smile became tighter, her responses shorter. She was a guest in her own home. Just as Jieming's mother was critiquing the placement of their wedding photo, Xiaoling's phone began to buzz. It was her mom, again, for the 5th time that day. It started with a "Did you eat breakfast?" which quickly morphed into "Are you sure you're drinking enough water?" and then escalated to "I saw a sale on towels. I'm going to buy some and send them over. Don't buy any yourself. You'll pick the wrong kind." Xiaoling tried to be patient, explaining that they had everything they needed. But her mother's voice on the other end was insistent, a constant stream of micromanagement disguised as care. She was trying to control their life from hundreds of miles away. Xiaoling ended the call, her face flushed with a mixture of frustration and hopelessness. She looked over at Jieming, who was still trying to placate his own mother, and the silence between them was suddenly filled with unspoken resentment. The pressure cooker was on, and the lid was about to blow. After Jieming's mom finally left, leaving a trail of unsolicited advice and a lingering scent of disapproval, the dam broke. Xiaoling turned to Jieming, her voice shaking with pent-up frustration. Can you believe her? Criticizing everything. The curtains, the sofa, even the way I make tea. Jieming, already stressed from the visit, sighed heavily. She's just trying to help. Xiaoling, that's just how she is. At least she's here in person. That was the wrong thing to say. At least she's here. My mom calls 20 times a day to ask if I floss my teeth. Which is worse, Jieming? A live-in critic or a remote control operator who never hangs up? The argument spiraled from there. It was their first real, ugly fight in the new house. Voices were raised. Accusations flew. Your mother treats me like a child. Xiaoling yelled, well, your mother treats you like a puppet. Jieming shot back. It wasn't about the curtains or the phone calls anymore. It was about whose family was more invasive, whose mother was more interfering. They were defending their parents, but in doing so, they were attacking each other. The beautiful new home that was supposed to be their sanctuary suddenly felt like a battleground. Hurtful things were said, things that couldn't be easily taken back. The fight ended with Xiaoling storming into the bedroom and slamming the door, leaving Jieming alone in the living room, the echo of their angry words hanging in the air. The dream of a peaceful new life seemed to be crumbling around them. Hours passed in a tense, miserable silence. Xiaoling stayed in the bedroom, and Jieming sat on the too modern sofa, staring into the darkness. The joy of the previous day felt like a distant memory. He replayed the fight in his head, a knot of regret tightening in his stomach. He knew he'd been unfair. He knew they were both under immense pressure. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. He was just about to get up, to knock on the bedroom door and try to apologize, when his phone shattered the silence. It was an unknown number, ringing insistently in the dead of night. His heart hammered against his ribs. Late night calls are never good news, he answered, his voice trembling slightly. Hello. The voice on the other end was frantic, choked with panic. It was isn't. Jieming, it's your father. He's had a heart attack. You need to get to the hospital. Now. And just like that, the world tilted on its axis. The fight, the mothers, the curtains, it all evaporated, replaced by a single terrifying reality. Jieming stood frozen for a second, the phone slipping from his numb fingers. His father, his strong, steady father. He rushed to the bedroom door and threw it open. Xiaoling was sitting on the edge of the bed, her face stained with tears. She looked up, startled by his sudden entrance, at her anger replaced by alarm at the sheer panic on his face. Jieming. What is it? What's wrong? He could barely get the words out. It's my dad, he whispered, his voice cracking. He's in the hospital. Heart attack. In that instant, they weren't adversaries anymore. They were partners, facing a crisis that was bigger than both of them. Their first fight was over, extinguished by a far greater fear. But as they rushed out into the night, the new, terrifying chapter of their life together was just beginning. What happens next? How will Jieming and Xiaoling handle this family emergency on top of their own issues? We'll all find out in the next episode. Thanks for watching. And if you're enjoying the series, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming. See you next time.